So next thing we are talking about is what different words mean when you see them like in a word problem or in a sentence. What math operation are these things telling us that we need to do? So we're going to make a list of kind of some key words so we know what those mean. Okay, addition. Can you guys think of any words that might mean addition? Sum, plus. I might say more than. Come up with some more. I could say increased by. I could say like in total. You know, I have pens and pencils and I have 7 in total. I would add my pens and my pencils together. What are some things that could mean we need to subtract?
Decrease by.
Okay. What else?
Difference.
Good. What else?
Less than.
What if I just said subtracted from? Or even just minus? This would also tell me subtraction. Okay, if I am looking for words that mean multiply, what could that be? What else? If I said product, find the product of 2 numbers, that means we're going to multiply them. Sometimes we might see of, like I use half of my pencils, so you multiply by a half. If I said double, what does that mean? What would I multiply by? Again, we might see like twice as many, so again, that just means times 2. What could be some things that mean division? What else? Quotient means divided by. I could just say divided by.
Half of something.
Yeah, half would be dividing by 2. I might say over. We have a number over 4. So that means a number divided by 4. If you're talking about it in terms of a fraction. Okay, sometimes we need parentheses. So times when we might see that is if I say I have something times the sum. So first we would have to add the numbers together and then multiply, so we would need the adding in parentheses. Or if I said twice or times the difference. So when I'm talking about multiple things, we would have to find the sum or difference before we could then turn around and multiply it. So in that case, you would need parentheses to act as grouping symbols. There are also a couple phrases that we have to watch out for because they tell us we have to switch the order. If I said you have 5 less than me, are you going to do 5 minus something or something minus 5? Something minus 5. So less than, we have to switch the order. So if I say 4 less than, we have to put a minus 4 at the end. Same thing when I say subtracted from. If I said, I have 5 subtracted from my total, I have to do my total first and then the minus 5 on the end. When you're adding, does order matter? No. So adding and multiplying, it's no big deal. We can do those in any order. But subtraction and division, order does make a difference. Alright, so now we're just going to practice reading a phrase and seeing if we can write an expression for it. Most of these are going to talk about a number. That's just any variable that you want to use. So I think we see X's a lot. I'm probably going to use X's, but if you like a different favorite letter, you're welcome to use whatever. If I see the product, what does product mean? Multiplication. A number and 3. So I am multiplying a number and 3. Could I write X times 3? Is there another way we can write that?
3 times X.
3 times X. Does it matter which one? No, as long as you have one. It's probably more common. We usually see the number in front, but it doesn't matter. If you put the other one, it would still be correct. The difference between, what does difference mean?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. A number is not one of my turnaround phrases, so we're going to go in order. So we have a number minus 10. So the difference between a number and 10 is just X minus 10. Okay, you guys, see if you can do 3 and 4. Write an expression for each of those for me. Very well on those. The quotient, what does quotient mean? Division. A number and -5. So I saw 2 different things written. Some people wrote X divided by -5. You could also write it as a fraction. X, this means divided by -5, so either of those is okay. For subtracted from a number. Now, subtracted from is a turnaround phrase. So we have to start with the number, then we subtract 4. So X minus 4. All right, number 5, the sum. Sum means we are going to add. What would twice a number mean? Times 2. So a number times 2. So 2x. And I'm adding that to 7. So twice a number is 2x plus 7. The product. So product means we're multiplying of a number and 10. So how would I write that? 10x. Increased by means adding 1. So 10x plus let's do a couple more of these. 4 less than is a subtraction, but that's a turnaround phrase, so the 4 goes at the end. A number squared. What do I mean when I say squared? Got that X on it up in the corner. Twice a number. How would I write twice a number? Divided by, so you can use the divided symbol or make it a fraction, 5. All right. Any questions about those? So the next ones, I want to start talking about equations. Like, how do we write an equation? And the big thing to remember is the word is means equals. So anytime you see an is, that's telling us equal to. We are not going to solve these equations today. We are just trying to read it and put it into symbols. What is this telling me? So we start out writing our expression for the first part. The sum, so sum tells me I'm adding, twice a number, 2x, and 10. So 2x plus 10 is, and that's that magical word, when I see an is, that's equals 36. Okay, I'm going to do 13 next. 4 times a number, so that would be a 4x, divided by, so you can use the divided by symbol or write it as a fraction, divided by 8, is means equals 3. How would I write 1/2 of a number? Okay, 1/2 is 1/2. Of means what operation? If you look back at your list, of was in our multiplication. So times a number, so 1/2 times x, is means equals 8 less than. Less than is a turnaround phrase, so something minus 8, the number itself. So my number minus 8. I want you guys to do some of these so I can see where we're at here. So try 10, 12, 14, those ones that I skipped. So the product, that tells me I'm multiplying. A number, all of these are talking about a number. Every one of these should have an x in it somewhere. So if you don't have an x, you miss something. So we have the product, so we're multiplying, a number and 3. So you can write x times 3 or just 3x. Is, that's the magical word that means equals. It's the same as the sum, so we are adding that number. Number is x and 6. So 3x equals x plus 6. Number 15. 15. Decreased by. Decreased by means subtracting. The quotient. What does quotient mean? Dividing. So we're going to decrease it by the quotient of a number and 3. So I'm dividing a number and 3 is, tells me equals 20. We did have some mistakes on that one. So the decrease by was the subtracting, and then we had to do the quotient. Number 16, 4 less than. Less than means subtract, but it's a turnaround phrase, so it's a minus 4. Okay, we are subtracting from the product of a number and 7. How would I write that? Is means equals 8 more than could you have written x plus 8?
Yes.
Yes, because addition order doesn't matter. But with subtraction, that order does matter, so it has to be a 7x minus 4. All right, let's keep practicing on these. If I go back to number 10, 3 times, so I'm taking 3 and multiplying by the difference of a number and 7. So remember, I told you if you have times a sum or times a difference, we have to have parentheses. So I have 3 times. And in that, I have to do the difference, which means I'm subtracting a number, so x, and 7. So I have to multiply it by the difference. So we have to subtract first in our parentheses and then take it times 3. Is means equals 18. Number 12, 5 times, everybody better be paying attention to me. So I'm taking 5 and multiplying by the sum. So I need to add things. That means I have to have in parentheses a number and 6. What am I doing to the number and 6? Adding. So x plus 6 is in parentheses, multiplying by 5 on the outside. Is means it is equal to 48. Last thing I want to refer to with this is inequalities. Okay, so less than looks like this. Less than or equal to, we should know this because we've solved inequalities. Last week we were working on them. Greater than looks like that. Greater than or equal to. So I could have you do the same thing, but with inequalities. So a number, so when I see a number, what am I writing? X is less than negative 10. So these are inequalities. Number 18, a number, so a number is x, is less than or equal to, so we do the less than or equal to symbol, 8. Number 19. A number is greater than or equal to negative 4. We have to think about this one a little. A number, so x, is at most. What does that mean?
It means the highest it can be is 45.
Right. 45 is the highest, so it can be 45 or it can be smaller. So that would be a less than or equal to 45. A speed limit of 55. So we're talking about an unknown, that's my x. If it's your speed limit, can you drive 55?
No.
Yeah, so it has an equal to. Can you drive over 55? You're not supposed to. So that would be less than or equal to 55. You can legally drive less than or equal to 55. Okay. A number, so x, is at least. At least means what?
Greater than or equal to.
Greater than or equal to. That much or more. 16. A number is no less than. So it can't be less than. That means it can be greater than or equal to 10. 4. A number is no more than. If it can't be more, what can it be? 26. A maximum number of 25. So maximum means 25 is the biggest it can be. So it would be what? And 26, a minimum. So 5 is the smallest. So that would be